is up, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about finishing some big projects on the channel and getting started with a couple more. All that in today's episode. My name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Let's get into it. A lot of you guys have probably noticed that I have been terrible about posting regularly. I've been getting videos out every 2 weeks rather than every week. And so I'm going to try to get better about that in the new year. There's just been a lot going on and I've been trying to keep up with a lot of different things. So I apologize, but over the last 2 weeks, I've been really thinking and I made a decision about the channel. Now, this has been the project car of the channel. We have been building this K-swapped E30 and I've always wanted to turbo it. I always wanted just giant turbo there. There's so much space for activities. So with that being said, I actually got a bigger diff to handle more power, which is good. So this guy needs to be installed along with bigger axles. But this thing has an E36 M3 transmission, so it should be good to handle some jam. But with turbo kits and with starting new projects, you need a lot of money and a lot of different parts. So we would need to upgrade the fuel injectors, we need to get the turbo manifold, the actual turbo, make a downpipe, and then get intercooler piping. The ECU is already a standalone, so that is good to go. And then obviously throwing the diff in. Now obviously that gets pretty expensive really quickly, and that's where the sacrifice is going to come in. Now, I have thought a lot about this, and one of the big things that made me make this decision is the lack of interest in this build that I've had. And I will be selling my E36 M3 because I got it for such a good deal, and because the prices are so high, I figured it would be really good to do a nice flip on this thing and get my money out of it. So a lot of you guys have seen this Avis Blue E36, and it actually cleaned up really nicely. It obviously needs some new paint because the paint matching isn't great, and it is fading up at the top. The interior is actually in relatively good condition, and it is a 5-speed with 88,000 miles. And after doing a quick dusting on the engine bay, this thing actually looks really good. There's no leaking, there's no oil leaking, which is actually a really good sign for these cars. And I mean, it's in good condition, but I just haven't had the itch to actually use it and modify it and all of that. The car is actually pretty clean. And it does need 2 new tires on the rear, but the fronts are good. I've put it in a bit of maintenance with the thing, and it's actually done really, really well. But for some reason, I just can't get myself to enjoy working on the car and like excited about the car. It drives really nice and it drives straight, and it's a really good car. It's fun to kind of like whip around, but I don't know, it's missing like a certain feeling for me. Whereas the E30, I would dump every single one of my last dollars into this thing. E30 has always been the dream car of mine, and it has always been something that I want to modify. Likewise, the Honda CRV has actually been a really enjoyable car for me to drive and take care of and do some maintenance on. And that's where my other K24 comes in. This is my dirty junkyard K24 that I got that needs a nice fresh rebuild. And similar to the turbo kit, it costs money to rebuild the engine. So my entire goal is to flip the E36 and sacrifice it for the channel so that I can buy a turbo kit for the E30. We can fully do the build and fully finish it. As well as get started on the engine for the CRV. And I'd also like to get some nice coilovers for the CRV as well. Just did the timing belt on the CRV and it is running great. But after looking at the suspension, it is blown, and so it'd be nice to get coilovers for that thing. So if I can get what I want for the E36, it would mean a big profit, and with a big profit means more money to spend on car parts. There have been a good amount of people that have subscribed because of the E36 videos, and so to you guys, I apologize. I know that this was a quick kind of flip, but it will mean more content for Project Race Car. Did a quick parts list, and I could get most of everything that I want to do done by selling the E36, and so that would put me in a really good spot. My finances are also changing this year, so hopefully we will be in a better spot to keep flipping cars and keep the channel going. Obviously that's kind of the whole goal as a car guy, and getting all these projects and stuff done. I know it's easy for big YouTubers to just keep going with things, and you know, it seems like they have unlimited money, but I know that there's a lot going on in the background. So if I can, you know, do this and sell the E36 to somebody who is going to enjoy it a lot more than me, then that is obviously a good thing. So for the E30, what it would need is to swap that diff in, to get new axles, and then we also need to do all the subframe bushings. I looked at everything underneath and they are all toast. Then we would get a 5862 precision turbo along with TF Works turbo manifold. We would be able to run a line directly into the oil pan, and then we just need to figure out the intercooler piping, and injectors, and then the tune. So it should be relatively straightforward, and it would be a really fun thing to build and to finish. There isn't much that the car would need besides those couple of parts, so hopefully that would be a quick and simple kind of process to do and to finish up. So it would mean that I would need to redo a couple of the main parts of the K-swap, but it honestly wouldn't be too bad, especially since I have a lot of the things set. I believe the clutch does need to get upgraded because I only got the 300 horsepower one, and I believe typically on like 10 pounds of boost, the K series are already at 400. So we would need to kind of rework some things, but that would just give us more time to figure everything out. And with this K series, I've decided that I want to go with a K20 head and just send this thing to the scrapper, or I mean, I guess I could get this bad boy cleaned. And with the block, I would do a quick refresh on it and get new piston rings and get new rod bearings and all of that stuff. So we need to do a good amount of love to this thing, and I would like to get ARP head studs and get this thing all set up. But then once this thing is good to go, then we can start searching for a all-wheel drive transmission for the CRV and start getting that thing prepped. Like I said, I know that this is going to be sad for some of you guys to get rid of the E36, but I promise I will do good with the money that I get from it, and it will be a good sacrifice for the channel. Should still be some money left over to get a car flip in, so I will also keep trying to get that going. And there is still a couple things that I need to do on the E36, so I will be sure to film that, and I actually want to take you guys on a test drive and do all that stuff. So I'm doing a bit of traveling for the rest of the year, going back to see family in Colorado, and then I will be back and ready to get some stuff done in January and the first part of the year. I've always thought that I've wanted the E36, but alas, it just doesn't do much for me. They look really cool and I love the styling, and I'm glad that they are the car for somebody else, but the E30s have always been my style. If you guys enjoyed today's video, a like and subscribe would be extremely helpful for the channel, and if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, my name is Ryan, this is Project Race Car. Have an amazing day, peace.